Mhm. No, at least it shows that it's recorded. Now, once again, do pay your attention, please, to the fact that you need to submit 5 tasks, which are for this panel. Panel symbolically shown on the right now. The whole picture of panel we try to draw in a class. Whole picture consists of 8 stringers, 4 frames, 32 knees, and skin, which I forgot to mention at all in this list. Arrangement is. And for this panel, you have 5 tasks to do. The first one, locating chart. First one, locating chart development. We have already discussed it sometimes. Yes. Now, technical demands to part supply conditions. Yes, we even have recorded this, and you understood it's very simple. I already gave you already answers for both variants, you see, for 4 methods and for both variants. And next one is technical requirements for assembly jig designing procedure. In order to compose those requirements, first we will come back to our laboratory manual to see what they looks like, these technical requirements. Next, we will try to compose them, but in order to compose them, first we need to understand how panel is assembled. We need to have sequence of assembly, we need to have locating chart. Actually, it's like practically already developing the assembly jig scheme, which is the fourth task. No? And fifth task was assembly jig coordination diagram for this scheme. To be frank, my dear boys, we already did everything at all, including the technical requirements for assembly jig design. But let's record now once again this piece. In order you may finish your pre-graded tasks, download them because I see 0, 0, 0 everywhere. And don't forget, at the end of this week, I will open model test, and you need also to pass test. If I'm not mistaken, this week is the last for you. No, class is actually maybe not even given this week for you. That is the last week. Since the next week you have exams, and in 2 weeks you're supposed to be defended. Sorry, I'm in your bachelor works. Так, let's start. No, once again, remind you that in this place in mentor, we have sending back to Telegram channel in order to have some explanation. We already have opened this explanation for you. We already have skipped this explanation. And I will send you beginning of it, and we will use something. First, do pay attention, not to this, Чебурашка. That in our bachelor work, or typical content of bachelor work, in this one, you have one of items which sound like developing the technical requirements for jig designing procedure. And quite the same text you have in our laboratory manual. Oh, sorry, I was rather awkward, seems like. Wait a second. I've been opening the place. Well, I sent you the wrong one, seems like. No, doesn't matter. Now, in our, what you see, in our manual for laboratory work, you see something like a table, and this table describes what jig is supposed to be looks like. And this description is normally given from one engineer to another engineer. Who this engineer? Let me switch on need the second screen in all directions. Between your compose the scheme of jig when you compose it. No, between the very first documents like composing the assembly diagram, the sequence of assembling, composing the locating chart and path supply conditions, you do one more important work. You developing so-called technological process, text of technological process, which consists of prepare the working place, check kit of parts for damages and correspondence to the assembly drawing. Next, no, for absence of damages, of course. Next, first operation, let it be. Locate web inter assembly jig by 2 CFH diameter clamp with 2 pins. Next step, and so on, so on, so on. And until you write with step-by-step such technological process, you already practically composed the scheme of jig in your mind. And you may even draw the primitive scheme in a picture. Something like we did when we draw assembly diagram. Assembly diagram and locating chart. Those primitive pictures, I mean, orange locators. And as you already composed the jig, you are workshop manufacturer engineer. You're an engineer who work exactly in workshop, who is responsible for providing the work, for organizing the work in a shop. Your technicians work under your guidance. You writing technological process, and you passing this technological process to the next engineer, whose responsibility is to design tooling. But this another engineer who work in department in auxiliary manufacturing, he or she should not spend dozens of hours to understand how it's assembled, what are your ideas, and so on. And together with text of technological processes, together with previous documents which been origins for you, all those locating charts, path supply conditions, and above the whole assembly diagram, of course, which shows the sequence of assembly. Like you're adding your technological process to those documents. And next, you need to pass it to another engineer. Together with all this, you need to explain in short way to another engineer what do you need in this jig. And if you already read this, you suppose it already read this table once in your laboratory manual when we studied the very first laboratory work, you have noted it's described jig with, you understood, I hope, with some simple words. Above the all, what jig purpose is, function of jig, what it for, and with mentioning the name of unit you're going to assemble, including the what exactly you're going to do in this jig. Is it really a fixture? No, in most cases, they are fixtures according to Western countries classification. Fixture contain locators and clamps, and jigs, locators, clamps, and guiding devices. But for instance, when we're talking about drilling jig, it's really a jig in this classification. When we're talking about milling jig, it's already more probably a fixture, not a jig, because it has no any special elements that direct the tool, direct the mill cutter controlled by CNC machine, not by jig. When it comes about assembly jig, if assembly jig has no inbuilt conductors, has no inbuilt drilling machine or something like this, it's also not a jig in clean understanding, it's a fixture. But nevertheless, some people call it assembly jig. And we are not trying to complicate your life, we also call it assembly jig. But better if you also mention what jig is for locating, clamping, and joining, or for locating and clamping only. For instance, you're going to use, for riveting, you're going to use riveting press. Next, no, this is priority. It's not important, actually. Is it developed for the it may be mentioned, but it's not important. There are so-called some waiting lines of tooling. The primary one, 01, is for the urgent work, let's say, for the first series of airplanes, for some first airplanes. The first line of tooling is first waiting line when the whole tooling is enough to provide serial manufacturing with the program that is given, like regular program. And tooling of second waiting line, it's already standby tooling. In case you understand that somewhere you have bottlenecks in organization, or you understand that some tooling is about to wear out, so in some months, and you need to substitute it, let it be with new one. That is so-called second waiting line of tooling. They are manufactured at last moment. This priority in your virtual work we usually do not mention. And next, it's assembly component list. It's sequence of assembling or order of assembly. What and in which order you are going to locate inside the chip. Status of supply, actually, it's separate document. Part supply conditions, they are given separately. Order of assembling, it's practically the same in this picture that you see, that assembly component list. Next, locating chart, also it's separate document, and you usually just refer to the separate document in your part supply conditions. Part supply conditions and technical requirements for jig designing. And next, you need to mention what is the tools and tooling using in the jig, and what are important elements also of the jig. What are locators of the jig? As for me, in this laboratory manual, once I left it in such a way, this picture, this table, as you see, because it was decision of our professor, who was also the author in this manual and laboratory manual. And his opinion for me was more important than mine. I left it like this, but in another books that we have, and in our life, we usually use a little bit another order that was similar to the order in real. Sorry, so one. It's also for you people. Not so one. Hima. I already not able to say it.
Himash.
No, Himash, yes, it's short name. Himachaleshwaran. Himachaleshwaran. Yes or not?
No, just Himash. Just Himash.
I do
That's enough.
remember, but I'm interested to train myself how to pronounce it.
Okay, then you are
Himachaleshwaran.
pronouncing correct. Himachaleshwar. You're right.
Okay. Yeah. And, and. Yeah. No, once again, remind you about our books. They are not in English, but they are very useful for you. That one is old one, which contain, on one hand, it contains the locating chart, what here at the top. Locating chart in two cross sections. The sequence of assembling is given in old-fashioned way. It's too much for you. It's not necessary. And at the bottom, it's usually contain the jig scheme. But this jig scheme, it's two-dimensional, and it's given down for the rig, for the spar, for the panel, and so on. It's a half of book. It's album of jigs. And together with jigs, they also give at least locating charts, understandable for you. But new book, also not in English, that you might say, is no. If you watch it, you love it. I said, yeah. I usually send it with hearts to you. This new book contains a lot of structures of jigs and contain it in. It was period of first lockdown. No? Then it was funny. You see here some real structures of airplanes, and no, with the second one, it's Boeing. But Boeing for freight, and you see for freight flight, I mean for cargo flight, and you see it's opening the first cargo door. Now this nose cargo door. And they are all of different sizes actually. On the very left, it's Illusion 76, as far as I remember. And it has like two cockpits, you see that they have top cockpit and bottom cockpit. And the third and fourth one, they are actually fighters, and these fighters, they are much less in size than first and second one. Boeing is the greatest, Illusion the second by size. Third one, maybe it's F-16, maybe, I'm not sure. And last one, I've seen it sometimes, but do not remember what is it. What they are so glad about? Why they are laughing? Yeah? Because they don't need to go tomorrow to the first period. It was lockdown, and as I said, our guys thought it's very funny. It's very funny. They have holidays, but in a month they've been already about to cry with these holidays. And not because they were bored in a hostel, but it's a period that no one going to forgive them bachelor work. That either they do bachelor work and finish all their debts, or they have no diploma, and that was shock for them. They said, why? It's worldwide. It's not our fault that we are not able to study now, and so on. Let's give us diploma for nothing. No, you know, no? Normal reaction of student for those things. Так, once again, remind you, you have this book. This book, if I show you the book itself, pay attention, this with hearts. You have it, you have it in your chat sometimes already. Так, and we like to come back here. Now, what I propose you to follow too, I gave you literally list of demands, translation from another our books, that one. I'm afraid I already sent it to you. I'll do it once again. And what this list of demands? Purpose of jig, position of unit, something that we have seen here in this place of icon position. Yeah? Next. Oi, 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 oi. We will open you very well. No problem. So one by the word, this one. It's also my very own, you see? And mostly it contain books and notes. Вот так. Angel, look. Very beautiful sculpture of angel. Someone have a mercy about him, and you see someone gave him warm scarf when winter starts, and one sock for both of feet. And children left him some sweets. Так. Once again. Purpose of jig. Next, position of item inside the jig. Vertical, horizontal, so on. Next, sequence of assembly component, order of assembling. Next, main assembly basis, or again, locating chart. You're just referring to locating chart. And next item, very important, interchangeable elements of interchangeability and their accuracy. Here you are explaining accuracy that you have calculated in the previous items in your virtual work. And literally you need to mention here what are locators, which locators you need in this jig. So what you write in the item number 5, literally it's list of locators and accuracy that these locators should be resulted in. Next, number 6, it's the thing that is not mentioned in laboratory manual, but it's extremely important. Actually, it's about method of coordination. And item number 6, it's about tooling of second order. What is tooling of second order? You see, gauges, templates, mounting standards, whatever we need physically for mounting the jig, You need to mention, yes. You not see
I don't
screen?
see the screen stuck.
Um,
Do I have
no,
problem?
I do not see screen in my, oh, now I see screen even in the phone. I have, I'm overwatching in a phone with one eye and overwatching to computer with another eye.
Yeah.
Computer,
Now I can see. Now I can
yeah,
see.
shows that the screen is present. Problem is that internet maybe not much good in university right now, maybe. And maybe it's a rather low level of electricity and computers are sensitive to this. And it's also maybe something wrong with your internet and your computer. I'm watch it. The translation is continued. Number 6, once again, tooling of second order. And that one, direction of installation or removal. Installing, setting into like access inside the jig and access outside of jig. It's extremely important mostly for compartments, sections, and for aggregates. No, when we talked about jig, we talked about this matter. If you have something heavy, you need to remove it using overhead crane. If jig structure prevent access of overhead crane inside the jig, it's wrong jig. So you need to explain since beginning that either you do everything manually and you install and remove elements from a side and remove it to side, or you remove something to the top of the jig and you are going to use overhead crane. It's important for skeleton, the jig developing. And last one, it's about whether you have need in access to pressure, no, to the pressured air, да, compressed air. Do you need electrical network, switchers or whatsoever in the jig immediately? And which auxiliary devices also you think are necessary? For instance, no, we have seen that maybe it's additional lamp, maybe it's some device which help you to move heavy things, for instance, in jig, because locator may be big in size and locator may be heavy itself. In some jigs, we have hydraulic cylinders which are responsible to move locators, because otherwise you can't move it. They are too much heavy and big in size. The element of jig itself. Also, I hope you do remember we've seen some jigs where it was something like benches, stools, and other things which belong to the jig immediately, which are necessary either to sit near the jig to work, or they are necessary to have access. They something like second floor, but not second literally, no, some evaluation, let it be, to the heights for technicians who need to work. No, you understand that person may work only in area if we open the file. Better maybe to find it immediately. What here is immediately in my computer to find it in internet. Так, ну мы будем открываться. Да, вот that story. That why they are kneel down like this or lay down, not because of tight access, no, besides of matter of tight access, but person is able to work only in area which person see. Where this area? If you check it right now, you understand it's limited approximately with your eyebrows, да, and somewhere to the neck, to neck, to the belly, let it be, but not high. Approximately from this place to that place. If where you see 100%, да, it's different only with position of hands. But the idea is that person might walk approximately, not even from the top of the head, to be frank. Да? It's walk area, first plane, it's our eyes a little bit higher than our eyes. Usually it's a little bit less than the top. And another where do you see without bending the head, without sitting down and so on, where you might work, where he has now his lower hand, right or left, I do not understand. Approximately it's beginning of our hips, you see, yeah? Little bit below the waist. Or if you need to work in more lower area, you will not see what do you do. Either you need to change position or you need to use some camera or mirror. Так, now having this in the mind, I mean this list of requirements, let's try to compose list of requirements for those jigs that we seems like we did. Oh, jig number one. Jig number one, it looks like like something like this. Yeah. And if we try to redraw this, we will create new file right now. Так, we will open one more file. And to this one more file, we will copy one by one little pieces, and we will also add code. First, we worked with this technique, assembling by skin. Вот так, да? Let's do big sheet for us. Right now, it seems like we're going to work simultaneously with a couple of tasks, because in order we might compose these demands, simultaneously with this, we're going to work with design object itself. It's awful. Are you going to work? You know, computer usually quite happy when I open something else. One more file, and computer just crazy because of happiness. You know. Happy, happy, happy. Until this happy creature is thinking, let's come back to this picture. What do we see here? We see three locators of contours, and we see three locators of base course. Let's try to reproduce something like this. Leave aside. And what we have? Locator of contour, locator of contour, and locator of contour. We mean that we are going to place here the skin. Somewhere here, it would be a skin. I don't know whether you see the picture. Вот так, да? I draw it with very thin line in order it's barely visible, let's say, because it's not included in the jig skin. What next do we need? Here, I draw it what for? Here we have locators of BH. Also, we trying to draw it symbolically, but of course with understanding where they are with respect to the jig design, no, position of skin here. BH, BH, and BH. Так, we also need a tip to this. Some tip. No, not like this. And it's too close to the top. I'm just trying to show something like, you know, this port-like connector. As we call it. Hisham, your mic between you. Do you have questions? Hisham, any question? Something happened to our Hisham.
ஏய் போடா
Hisham, are you alive? Sorry, Hisham. It's sleeping. Oh, and look what I did right now. Hisham, are you with us now? Oh, Anna with us now. But Hisham has disappeared at all. What I did right now, I have placed system of locators. I do not show here clamps also, but clamps supposed to be here, to be frank. And one more thing that we need to do, all the system of locators and their no, interconnecting elements which join them to skeleton, they need now to be joined to the skeleton itself. Oh, he has appeared at last. Are you okay?
actually not okay.
As far as I understood,
Here
you are
it's
somewhere in the street. Yes?
no, it's here it is raining. So
Ah,
power cut, power come.
I see.
I'm in
Да,
my friend's
maybe,
home right now.
да,
I'm
maybe that
trying.
is why problem with extra sounds, you are not controlling the mic and so on. Да, now
Yeah,
let's
right
try.
now I'm going to my friend home. So I will
Mhm.
follow.
We are trying to add skeleton now. No? Yeah, maybe it's better to see grid again. Something like this. Like that. Where is it? And finally, we need to add here legs. No, it's of course extremely primitive picture, but even this extremely picture is enough for us. And when you do it in a task, such things, you need, of course, to explain, you need to show at least symbolically the clamps, and you need to explain what is a little bit dirty. Also it's supposed to be one line here at the bottom, which imitates the flow. And usually it's with thin hatching here also something like wants to be thin, something like this. Uh, and you need to explain now to someone what are main elements. Usually we do it with leaders, skeleton object, locator of contour, the fork for connecting, and so on. No, that is very simple scheme. Now let's try to follow what we have seen here. Demands to the jig, to assembly jig. We are going to discuss. Let's try to follow to this list of questions. Let's leave it somewhere as a grip. Not sure that it will work normally right now. Somehow, yes, it's working. What is the list of demands for this assembly jig? Requirements for assembly jig design procedure. If we're talking about by scheme, assembly method, assembly method by scheme. Not visible, да? Too little? Or it's a, no, I hope it will be okay. So purpose of the jig. Purpose of the jig. The jig is locating and clamping. The jig is now for that one. I don't like black color. I never like when it's always black color. But purpose of jig. Ай, пускай будет красным. И тут у нас тоже пускай будет какой-то, хоть какой-то другой цвет. Jig is for locating and clamping the fuselage panel in your case, you need to explain. No, in bachelor work. For this task, of course, it's. I hope it's clear. It comes about fuselage panel. For locating and clamping the fuselage panel for passenger airplane. No, it's enough for us right now. Next, position of unit imaging. Vertical. Vertical in flight position. Literally, we made it vertical, and in flight, it also in such position. Next, list of assembly components. Do forgive me, it's also necessary even to me, no? To recollect here, where we refer to. In our first picture, we have here skin, stringer, frame, frames, knees. List of assembly components in order of assembly. Skin, stringers, frames, knees. What is next? Main assembly bases. Main assembly bases are already shown in locating chart. Main assembly bases see locating chart. And in your task, I also permit you to do the same. Interchangeable elements in this of unit and their accuracy. No, their accuracy we're not able now to explain because we haven't calculated. We will write something approximate. What are these interchangeable elements? Once again, to pay attention to the picture we talked yesterday. Interchangeable elements, the most important, are theoretical outlines of locators, of those locators. Inner theoretical outline. And also it has base holes. So we suppose it to say the theoretical outline with accuracy and base holes. Base holes we even mentioned here, and the accuracy also mentioned here. Where? Base holes, diameter 5, H7. What I did? I did something. Doesn't matter. I will delete this. Interchangeable elements. C O reticle outline. Это должен быть синий цвет у нас, да? Так. CO reticle outline. Outer surface of skin. Accuracy. No, people, I have no sign plus minus. Plus, no. Let it be 1.8, for instance, millimeter. If it's passenger aircraft, here suppose it to be plus minus. Minus we will add. And what next do we have? Next are BH, base holes, diameter 5H7. Base holes with diameter 5 and accuracy which correspond to 7 level of international accuracy grade. Да, plus minus we suppose to it. Plus minus. Here is the raw accuracy that we demand. Theoretical outline of skin. Sorry, not visible again. Outer surface of skin plus minus 1.8 and BHs. Next we are going to see again in telegram the interchangeable elements for all, BHs, templates, and so on. Копировать, выделить. Look, all those gauges, templates, mockups, it depends on which method of coordination you are going to use. If you use instrumental method, for instance, for this jig, you need instrumental stand, and it's enough. And you need CNC machines with programs which are responsible for manufacturing the locating these locators. If you're going to use mock-up technique, it means that you need mounting standards. Here we will write something, and this something will not the things that you need to copy in your bachelor work. In your bachelor work, you're writing already exactly to the diagram of coordination that you have composed. Here we will write depends on the method or method of что ж такое coordination used. No, being used. Next, direction of installing and removing from jig. Да, это тебе не вот. Direction of unit elements installing and removing. From, так, тут должно быть написано цветом. Locating from the technician manually removing the ready panel, then final panel, the ready panel in direction to backward to technician. Sorry that I typed with big letters, it's not really necessary to technique, technique, on manually, wait, manually we may type for for couple of technicians. No? It should be mentioned how much people necessary here. because it's already mentioned in technological process. 2 technicians, 3 technicians, depends on the weight of panel. If one technician is considered like limited weight is 15 kilograms for one technician manually. Means of mechanization and automatization. Here what we might, right, we are going to use pneumatic drill here. So mechanization of what? Mechanization of assembly of pneumatic manual tooling for drilling and not burnishing, also debarring for drilling and debarring. And debarring, cleaning the edges. Assembly jig elements are not mechanized. Actually, that's it. Look, what we wrote together. Jig is for locating and clamping the fuselage panel, with the idea that we are going to rivet it somewhere else, for instance. Yeah? Next, position of unit in a jig. Vertical, like in flight. List of assembly components, skins, stringers, families. Bases are shown in locating chart, and for each another technique, they are a little bit different. Next, interchangeable elements of the unit and accuracy of them. It's mentioned here, plus minus 1.4 millimeter, 1.8 millimeter on theoretical outline. It corresponds to the outer surface of skin. And also we have BHs. This BHs accuracy we give, like it's in part supply condition, but actually, I hope you remember those fastens with BHs next we're about to cut. Right now we need it, but next we're going to cut. And finally, we need to mention what is the technique of carnation and I don't know, touch it like this, and direction of installing and removing. We insist we do everything manually, yeah? And our employee first work from it himself, and next it's they work to themselves. Now, guys, it was one technique. Yesterday we talked about 4 different techniques. I hope you do remember. Yeah? It was one technique of assembling, one assembly method. What might be changed if we use another assembly method? Let's come back to this picture. Let's take here another picture of those mock-up elements until I take it. You are trying to recollect. No? Also, do pay attention that here we have the same sequence of assembling, at least by name it corresponds. It does not correspond in elements of interchangeability, they are different. No, it's too little scale. Sorry. Elements of interchangeability under the parts names, they are different. But the sequence is completely the same. And what is the difference in the picture of jig itself? Look, practically no differences. No? The only difference that it's less amount of locators will be. Let's try to compose new demands. First, let's place here another picture in order to understand what comes about. Next, look what I do. What has been changed in case of another assembly technique? Once again, what has changed? Seems like it's disappeared one of the locators. Let's remove it. Instead of this locator, that seems like it's empty place. No, to be frank, I hope you understand. It's can't be like this in real life. It can't be quite the same panel. Panels are differ with thickness of skin itself. G is very similar. Elements of interchangeability are a little bit different for this technique because locating no, bases are different. But what changed in the scheme of G? Practically nothing. You see. What changed in this case? Jig is still for locating and clamping the fuselage panel. Position of item still the same, vertical in flight position. List of assembly components is still in the same order. Skin, stringers, frame, miss. Main assembly bases, still locating chart. Interchangeable elements are the same, but here I afraid would be another accuracy. Accuracy that we need no, for this panel, it depends on accuracy of demands of accuracy to the fuselage plus minus 2 millimeters. And also it depends on accuracy of coordination between jigs. In case we use another assembly method, here will be another accuracy, and we don't know which one, and I'm not even trying to propose which one. To the greater value, to the less value, I will just type here, even with red color, the question mark on purpose. In order you might see, in this case, something changed. Gauges, templates, mockups, again, depends on method of coordination. Locating, removing, this everything's the same, you see? What is changing depending on this? No, for these two techniques, not much. Let's try to see the third one. Oh, seems like it's already the least possible. No, least possible scale, and it means it's not possible to arrange it, or it's possible to arrange it even more. No. No. Next, we will see is it possible or not. We will try to do it now in not in a logical way, but there will be some way aside. Так, next couple. Next technique was that one, no? By AirFrame. Let's place it somewhere here. And let's repeat this trick that we already once did. But first take a close look to this picture. What we really need here? No, frames, skin, knee, and that one skin. No? We do see. What do we not see here? We see more amount of locators. We have no locators of BH. So when we are copying the skin of, let's copy down this. I hope it will enough space. Wait. Yes, it's enough. Guys, I have noticed the problem I created. Occasionally, I change it not in the correct place. Seems like. А ну-ка. Yes, yes, I change it at the top, and at the top I left picture. It's like this. But by now it's like this. How it's easy to mix up something, you see? Okay, I will review it later. Right now, you see the wrong picture, yeah? What that one supposed to be at the bottom. What this one is here, and with three locators at the top. I will repeat it later, not right now. Так, I need it here, and now let's concentrate our efforts on this side of screen temporarily. Once again, what do we not need here? We need four locators which correspond to position of frames, but certainly we don't need these things. Remove them. Да что ж так? Remove them, I said. We'll do something like this now. Вот так. Let's place a patch here. Maybe it visible anyway, no? Doesn't matter. And where those locators are? They are corresponding to position of frames. Maybe they are a bit aside now, not like they've been at the edge of skin, no, but a bit, just a bit aside. Doesn't look like this, you see. Moreover, it spoiled me a picture. Significant. Это его мстят. Save. Until it's saved, I can't do anything. Так. Clean locator without beige. And here is the need also. Clean locator without beige. And moreover, as I said, we need them. No, I don't know. No idea how to find where position of how to find it next. I will try it right now. One locator is closer to this place. Так. Next, what do we need? We need to restore skin. It was somewhere here originally. With the outside, it's awful. It must be something similar to what the one has now. Yesterday it was cold and it was snowy. Today it's rainy and it's very windy. One locator we place it. Also, it's necessary to replace the frame object. Yeah. And instead of this, what we are going to do right now, what I'm going to do, I will take this one aside, rotate it, flip it like this, in order to place it in corresponding place here without significant problems like it was. And here we have, first we need maybe to clean the middle. Of course, in real life, it's shown with scales, sizes, and so on. Not like we do it right now. All these empty places I will repair a bit late, not right now. Then I'm going to send the picture to you finally. Now let's see what must be changed if, and here is also another name of technique. Now we are talking about the by frame technique or by airframe. What is here? Purpose of the same, position is vertical, list of list of components might be changed. Look, now its list of components correspond to the frame, stranger, mean, scheme. So we are coming back to this place in order to change the list of components. First will be scheme at the last place, yes. In order to see it clearly. Scheme is at the last place, frames are at the first place. Now, frames, strangers, then knees, and scheme. That is effect of assembly method on these demands. Now, changing number one, here. What about main assembly basis? See like it in chart have been developed before. What about interchangeable elements? Again, theoretical outline, outer surface of skin. What is accuracy? Can't say. And we have no these elements. Gauges depends on method of coordination, locating direction, removing direction, mechanization, everything is the same. JIT is a bit different, but demands to them are similar. What is changing? Order of assembly is changing, yes. Locating chart is different. Demands to accuracy might be different. Elements of interchangeability different, and demands to accuracy of these elements are different. Set of locators is different. Let's come back to this one. We have first technique by CFA. In order you might recollect what it comes about. You see the picture right now. What are locators? What are set of locators? What is set of locators? Above the all, we're talking about some locators of CFH. They may be arranged, they may be designed in the view of bushings or pins or bushings, doesn't matter. And like you see at the bottom, see like this, like some truss-like structure with bushings. Or they might be designed more similar to the panel locators, and they are under the skin, I hope you do remember. And each such locator has two bushings or so many bushings that you need for each frame. In our list of demands, we wrote that each frame, green one, has two coordinate fixing poles. That is why each such folder, let it be, of locators. It has two locators of CFH. And yesterday we have drawn them in symbolic way like this, you see. Where these locators, if in previous case we placed locators immediately in front of frames, now these locators are a bit aside, to the left or to the right. There are four locators, but they are on some distance from frame. And if in our another file here, no, first we will place the picture in order to remind what we are working with. Again, we need four locators. But in these four locators, now let's fix the fact in the G where we have frames. Да? Let's think that where we have placed locators before. Мне это не нравится вообще ужасно. И сейчас вот эту неаккуратность будем еще копировать. Да? Ужас, ужас, ужас. Так. Where you see these locators, now there are frames. Let's try to mark it some, no, with this green line, down the thin line. Where the axis of locator, where the axis of frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're supposed to do in this G? We need to shift locator in such a way that it's a side of somewhere, a side of axis. And such a locator is also need additional elements. These additional elements, really locators, no? Where they are? They are somewhere in the axis, somewhere here, for instance. Let's see, like this and like that, let it be. It's our imaginable axis of coordinate fixed poles now for top poles and for bottom poles. And what we are going to draw, we are going to draw it on the on the axis. And they are not only on the axis, they should be with the widths which correspond with that line. Why I change it like this, I will show you right now. Look, if I continue this line, if we take the line first and continue, almost. No, you see, I hope, that when I took line and continued, the axis of frame, the surface of frame now in touch with this locator. I hope you understand what I'm trying to show. And quite the same thing should be at the bottom. We may just take a piece and install it here. And locator now, real locator looks like this. All these four another locators we need also to place in their new place according to position of those lines. So I will remove now those locators. Finish this picture. Yeah. We need to restore the skin, which might suffer from exercises. Something like this. It's not restorable now. It's also spotted. So let it be. It's a skin, and we are the lines of locators. One somewhere here, second somewhere here, and fourth I lost. Or what? Yes, great. Doesn't matter. I'll do it approximately. Так, and let's restore the jig skeleton also. Sorry. Как-то так. Так, let's place locator. Да что ж такое? That one. Ah, at the bottom. I love it. You know. Locator is not visible at all. Where another position? Okay, here. Third one is here. And fourth one, oh, sorry, I lost the last line. I don't know that. Approximately somewhere here. Now I will reduce the scale of picture in order we might compare the jig we see in this picture and in the top picture. Very similar. Because of this grid, it's not visible. Very similar. What is the difference? No, above the all, I hope it's visible. The position of locator is shifted with respect to the previous position. No? Last one, it's not ideally shifted. No, sorry, my fault. And we need also to understand what changed in these 20 months. I hope you already have good suspicion what might be changed. And where we need to refer to in order to understand how to change it correctly. Jig is for locating and clamping the fuselage panel. Не прыгай. We need to see those pictures. Oh, it's sorry, it will be like this. Little one. Jig is for locating and clamping the fuselage panel. Position is vertical. List of assembly components. Let's refer to this list. Look, frames, scheme, stranger, me. I'm not even reminding why it's like this. We just refer what happened here. So frames and me at the first place, scheme at the second. Maybe I also need to suppose it to do it with different colors in order you see it more clearly, like yesterday. Those changes in techniques. Good enough. Good enough or bad enough. Locating chart. We have the same text, but we have another locating chart. Theoretical outline. Again, we're interested in theoretical outline. Yes, but we have no now such interchangeable elements. Sorry. Goodbye, theoretical outline. Yes, the jig should provide theoretical outline, but we have no interchangeable element in the jig. We may leave it somewhere in brackets, да? Like так. Что такое? What is thinking about? Skin, Chinese. Отмена последнего действия. Типа зовсім попав. Theoretical outline. Let's copy down there. Don't like to collaborate on this. It's disappeared at all. You don't need me? Okay, I'm going away. Да. Theoretical outline really, we don't need. We may leave it in brackets here, да? Then we have theoretical outline. But really interchangeable elements are CFH diameter. Let's refer. I do not remember what is diameter. Where we refer to? Part supply condition. Да? Diameter H 8H7. CFH diameter 8H7. So H7 in order to provide theoretical outline. And I wrote it in one place. Never me. No, okay. CFH in order to provide theoretical outline, really. No? What is accuracy of theoretical outline in this case? We can't say. We need to calculate it first. And everything else is the same. Now, what we did is, look, we did even two different tasks simultaneously. What we did is we have developed demands for design of assembly chip. But in order you might understand what it comes about, we also have developed four assembly schemes, assembly jig schemes design. They are practically very similar, as you might see. No, the only problem that I did, I mix it up, as you remember, I hope, I mix it up the top and bottom, да? So at the bottom here we have now picture which correspond to assembling by skin, and next one by mockups in case we have 6 skin. Third one is by a skeleton of airframe if we have thin skin, but we yet need high accuracy of assembly. And last one is the assembling by CFH in a jig which very similar to what we have done before, but really it's maybe much more simple. It's may look like a frame with no frame-like structure, those like truss-like structure, which has some pins. Do pay attention once again. What are places that been changing depending on that or another assembly technique? Seems like it was the same list each time, besides of some places. Order of assembly was changing. Not theoretical, these interchangeable elements, list of locators and their accuracy was changing. And actually, in case you're trying to explain bases immediately here, it also would be different. But we just wrote C locating chart in idea that in your bachelor work you need to write C locating chart. Locating charts are different, bases are different. Technique of coordination also might be different for all those jigs, but we are not detailing this. Yeah? We just wrote the assembling for the jig, mounting for the jig, according to the ones of this method of coordinations that you are going to use. And everything else is the same practically, because it's the same panel, of the same size, of the same weight, and more probably jig auxiliary elements, they are similar. Guys, it already was answer to the third and fourth task to you. And do forgive me, seems like I did everything instead of you in this pre-graduate course tasks. And you need only to repeat it correctly. And fifth one, would you be so kind, do it on your own. Use, please, for both objects. No, look, at the top, I will arrange it again to correct one. At the top of previous picture, you have, and you have it somewhere fixed in your Telegram also, in a group. Да? And here it's written, who should do use that or another method of coordination, or method of assembly. Please, I need you. Так, давайте-ка мы еще, знаете, что сделаем? We will fix this one. Lamp. Да. I need you to work with your particular assembly method that you've been given. What? That one. No, not that one, that one. Now it's appeared because of my mistake. That at the bottom right now you see Hisham and Alvara techniques. At the top is Anna and Ahmed. And sorry, once again, remind you, I will change the picture. So it will be like diagonals. That is Alvara and Hisham, and that is Anna and Ahmed. Another diagonal will be. You need to develop diagrams of coordination. For each object, you need to develop 2 diagrams of coordination. With mockup element, for instance, mockup approach, and with instrumental approach. It's very simple. Once again, use please the video classes or use the book or whatsoever. We did it in front of you. No? Class number 5 that I yesterday sent you. Diagram of coordination for frame and diagram of coordination for another frame is already not necessary. You need class number 5, maybe class number 4. It's explained how jig may be mounted and how it's reflected in diagrams of coordination. And I also sent you another videos of previous classes, and if necessary, I will resend it after class again. How the jig mounting technique, depending on jig composition, also is reflected in diagram of coordination. So last 5th task up to you. Please do it on your own.
Okay.